Okay, I'm here with Staff Lieutenant Josh Swindell, and it's been quite a week, Josh. We've been all around the county doing different things. It started off with some seatbelt checks at the different high schools, and what I have noticed that over the years, the rates of students coming into school has increased. When we first started off, it was very common to encounter a lot of kids that were coming in that were unbelted, but it seems to be that they're getting the message. Is that your observation as well?
Yes, we had a lot of officers, captain from the Highway Patrol, the Sheriff's Department, the local police departments. We're out there with Safe Communities, and I really think that the kids are paying attention. I think our efforts with the high schools, even with the younger students that we have, I think is making a difference and even influence some of the parents, and I think it's working out really well.
And we had a lot of great entries in the contest across the county. Of course, not every school participated. Actually, they were not invited because we wanted to keep it kind of slow and small to start with. But next year, I think we're going to expand that. And now we're going to take you to some of the interviews with the winners from around the county.
No, we were in art class and our art teacher said that we were going to do this poster contest. And at first, I thought it would be click it or ticket, like the message on it. But then I thought a lot of other people were doing it. So I just kind of thought outside the box and thought, hey, Uncle Sam is a famous war poster. I want you for U.S. Army. So I thought if I could get him to tell people to buckle up, I think a lot of people would notice it because he is a famous American hero. And the message behind it is to buckle up, to stay safe, to not get into accidents.
Okay.
It's important to wear a safety belt so that you don't get hurt while you're in the car. And I drew this picture because you're supposed to wear a seatbelt or else you'll get a ticket.
Because, if you don't wear it, you can get in a lot of pain if you're driving and you don't have it on.
Okay. And why is it important to wear a safety belt?
You could get in a lot of pain.
Do you wear yours all the time?
Yes.
Tell me the idea behind your poster.
Well, when a few years ago on New Year's Eve, we crashed. Well, we hit a patch of ice and we went into a ditch. And I remember I started flying forward, and I was really lucky I had my seatbelt on because when I started flying forward, I couldn't grab onto anything. And I'm really glad that I had my seatbelt on because otherwise I would have been kind of injured.
And when you do your poster, are you hoping to convince others to stay safe as well? Let's talk about that.
I am hoping that others will put on their seatbelt because I don't want anyone else to be in a crash and not have their seatbelt on. And I don't want them to fly forward and get hurt or go through or hit a seat. And so I don't want anyone to get hurt.
You need to be buckled, and if you're not buckled, you're gonna maybe die or get severely injured.
Yeah, it was quite a day today going around and visiting with these children. Again, it was very exciting to see how creative they were. But now tonight we're dealing with a much more serious matter, and it's a sobriety checkpoint. Let's talk about that.
Yes, the reason for our checkpoints, we don't look to catch a lot of people consuming alcohol or taking illegal narcotics and being under the influence, but we're bringing awareness. And the reason we're out here and we're partnering with all our local law enforcement, the prosecutor's office, and Safe Communities is to bring awareness to the problem of drinking and driving and the consequences for that. And we had somebody here tonight, Ed Smith's widow, Rachel. She decided to come out with her family and support, and we're dedicating that checkpoint to them. She lost her husband in 2012 to a drunk driver that hit him head on. And they're out here tonight, and we're handing out flyers to explain her story and what the impact it had on her family. And we're glad we have everybody out here tonight. We're trying to focus on that. So the ones that are deciding to drink and drive will be out tonight in saturation patrols even after the checkpoint as well.
And sometimes I think the phrase checkpoint has some negative connotations within the public, but in reality, the checkpoints have been found to be constitutional, and there are quite some stringent guidelines on setting one of these up. In other words, we're not setting them up around a curve and saying surprise as motorists approach them. Let's talk about what it actually goes into conducting a proper sobriety checkpoint such as we're doing here tonight in Worcester.
Sure. Just briefly to let you know, we actually ended up taking a checkpoint and we have to come up with a plan. First we have to evaluate, is there an alcohol problem? And if we find a area has a problem and we're going to identify a roadway, well then we have to pick an area that Traffic can see us both ways. They have avenues of escape. So if you decide, I really don't want to go through the checkpoint, I don't believe in being stopped or detained and talked to, you have a lot of avenues and warning to exit those areas. We also send out media releases throughout the week. We're letting everybody know we're having a checkpoint, sort of where it's at the day of, and then as we have it, it's here on Cleveland Road as we are down here in the city of Worcester. And then we have to do a briefing. We have to explain to all our officers the educational part of this and bringing awareness, and the focus isn't on enforcement and arrests, but bringing awareness to our community, and that we are aggressively trying to curb the drinking and driving.
And as we approach the Memorial Day weekend, it's obvious. I know at the Sheriff's Office we're going to have extra deputies on patrol looking for impaired drivers, crash-causing violations, and certainly the Highway Patrol is going to be doing the same.
Yes, they charge us with traffic. Through the Sheriff's Department in the city, they have even a larger responsibility of answering calls for service as well on top of that. And we get some of those as well, but all of us partner together, and I think this is a great community because everybody is here, and we're actually going to have our officers out on overtime, regular patrol, and especially we're kicking off the summer. We're having people going to bands and parties, and we want to make sure have fun, enjoy it. Just have a plan when you go. Everybody should still enjoy those things. We're not deterring that. We just want you to be smart about it when you're heading home that night.